at a time when I shouldn't be. So let's go ahead and jump into the next segment for this podcast. Of course, this is called My Favorite Video Game. I have put together for this week a particular game, and it's Woeful Story. That game is called Wario Master of the Skies. And this game I'm highlighting this week because it is a game that I think deserves to be more highlighted than it has been in the past. I wrote a whole article about this on the Games You blog. You should check it out there. And I am being a little bit tongue-in-cheek with it. I'm going to be perfectly honest, because Wario Master of the Skies is not a great game. It's B tier, maybe even C tier, probably even D tier. It's not a game for everyone, and it's not a game that stands up among the greats or anything like that. It's just a cool game. I think it's fun. I would even consider it a good game, in my opinion. It's not everyone's game, though, and it does consider, and it is considered kind of a nuisance with the use of its touch controls. So if you've ever played a Wario game, you know who Wario is. His motivations are pretty crappy. He's just this fat plumber dude who's an antithesis to Super Mario, and he is greedy, he eats garlic, he does all kinds of crazy stuff, and he's fat as all get out, but he's inventive, and he's smart, and he's wily. So he sees in his television station the Silver Zephyr, this interesting dude. He's a little thief. He has his own little TV show called The Silver Zephyr. Every week he's going on an escapade and doing some new exploit and stunt and whatnot. And so Wario, watching this, sees that the Silver Zephyr has a magic wand that allows him to commit these crimes and to go thieving. So, of course, Wario, in all of his infinite and horrific knowledge of technology, creates what's called the Talmot and uses this helmet to dive into, it's literally a television helmet, and you use it to go into the television. And I don't know how he does this. It's terrifying, the fact that he even knows how to enter into alternate dimensions. But here he goes. He goes inside. He takes the wand from the Silver Zephyr, who reverts back to his boring old form of a rich, bumbling guy called the Count Cannoli. And he becomes the Purple Wind. Wario becomes the Purple Wind. Of course, a pun, a terrible, awful fart pun. And he uses this wand to go through the game, collecting treasure. It ends up becoming a very interesting plot involving demons and other terrifying things. And it's fun. You become very powerful by the end with a lot of different abilities and power-ups that Wario uses. And people deride the game because of lots of different things, particularly its use of controls. At the time, it is a DS game. So it's stuck on a system that is two-screened and has touch controls. And the game itself is entirely based around the idea of the touch screen, which, as I was about to say, at the time was a big deal. Touch controls were cool. It was a rage. Everyone was trying to implement them and use them in their games in unique ways. And so Wario Master of Disguise was no different. In any case, it was derided for that. Its controls are definitely a little wonky, and playing it back on it can be tiresome even on your hand to play with the touch controls because of the amount of dexterity it demands. But if you're able to get past that and are able to kind of just enjoy the game for what it is, it's got a lot of humor. The levels themselves are all interesting. The graphics are great even to this day. They're little chunky, pixelated graphics that remind me a lot of an SNES game. And it's a long game. It's about 10 hours. You can get a lot out of it and a bang for your buck. In any case, that's my favorite video game pick this week. And I encourage you to go read my article about it. I talk about it there. Looking